Everything's crooked. Like my hat is crooked. Everything's crooked this morning.
Good morning.
Okay, we're trying this from a different angle.
Yeah, hopefully we're not going to get like
because we were busy looking at this morning.
I mean, you guys.
That's what we were busy looking at this morning, you guys.
Like right out the window. Have you ever, like, is there a better way to wake up, I ask you, than watching a sunrise over the ocean? There's not. There's not a better way.
She's pretty maniacal about it.
Yeah, and my family gets so mad when we're on vacations because I'm like, you guys have to get up with me and watch the sunrise. And they are like, the F we are.
Yeah, we're up early. So thankfully we got to watch, God's beauty this morning.
Oh, God, it's just so gorgeous,
really,
you guys.
Really gorgeous.
So gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Election Day to everybody. It's going to be a day.
It's going to be a day. Yeah. And wow. Yeah.
It's going to be a day.
Just to remind everybody, I know we're going to remind everybody at the end too, but tonight when we do our live coverage of voting and, of the election coverage and all that kind of stuff and midterm craziness, we're going to open up the chat is what we're going to do. And we're going to be sitting in front of the television and then we're going to be checking back with you guys in the chat, in the live chat. We're not going to be doing a show per se.
For like 8 straight hours.
No, we're not because there's no way we cannot do the Sweeney Sisters,
I mean, we
doing a show. We could.
People will probably think just us living our lives will be a show.
We can do some show tunes and all that kind of stuff. We're not going to do that for like 8 hours. But we're going to be sitting in front of the television. We'll be checking in with you periodically. But you'll probably be seeing us like probably the back of our heads sometimes, and
we'll be getting up and like
around.
Doing things. But if you're a tailgater, we'll have it open probably a half hour before we go live. And then for wherever you're watching, you're still going to see us the way that you do and be able to comment and interact and all that. And we're going to be chatting back with you.
Yeah.
One thing that we have not done on this little short break from our realities is work out. And because that is not something that you do on a work vacation trip.
Unless you count lifting Prosecco.
Which we have done.
A lot of that.
We've done many reps of that.
A lot of it. I mean, I'm sore. A little sore.
And so one thing that we don't have on us right now, because there's really no need, is our Super Beets. The makers of Super Beets make the tart cherry, the tart cherries that are like these supplements that you take in order to help you deal with inflammation, particularly after working out. So we did not bring them with us. We can't show you the cool little bottle, but just know that they are made by our friends at Super Beets. Super Beets, the Super Beete, yow.
I have to live with this for like 3 days, you guys. Pray for me. Yeah. I really like the tart cherry ones because I haven't done this in like, I don't know, it's been since 2015. I started kickboxing again because I really like to hit things.
You're not supposed to though. I should get on you about that because you're not supposed to.
But anyways, I started doing that again because I don't listen to nobody. I listen to nobody, no man. And so I've been doing that again. And you get really sore doing that because there's a lot of jarring, it is. So anyways, and I love those things. They actually do help.
They do. I mean, like for a post-workout, the clinical studies on the tart cherry chews basically show you that they are 40 times more concentrated than any other tart cherry extract, which is kind of a big deal. And so it's the equivalent essentially of eating 100 cherries after your workout.
And I'm not doing that.
I would actually do that,
I'm
but
not doing that.
That's, that's significant. No. So it does really reduce inflammation and post-workout, like the soreness that you get from a workout. So if you would like to check them out, highly, highly recommend you just go to mytartcherry.com/chicks. And you can get up to 35% off of these gummies, which are also delicious, by the way, and free shipping. So if you're a workout fiend, highly recommend checking those out.
Okay. Yes. I was waiting for you to go back to comments because I really like to see comments.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Let me.
And then make sure that you check out our Linktree too at chicksontheright.com/links where you can find all of our things, you guys. all the things.
Are you seeing what the sun is doing to our faces
Now
right
it's
now?
now it's gonna shine on the right side of my face instead of making me a white blob like it did yesterday. Now it's just gonna make the right side of my face.
Well, now
white
it's
blob.
a little shadowy. It's a problem. We can't find a good place in here because it's
Yeah.
such a beautiful, sunny room.
It's just so it's so bright and everything in here. It's just
We are in an undisclosed location,
it is.
Suzanne.
It's undisclosed.
It's an undisclosed location, but we're
But-
very much enjoying it.
Yeah, it is. Like I've put on my Instagram page like the state that we're in. But
Yes.
that's it.
Yes,
That's it.
We are in the state of Alabama
We're in
right
Alabama.
now. Alabama. Okay, so because it's election day and it's going to be a very, 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 very busy day, hopefully you guys took out your Omaha steaks from the freezer already so that you're good to go for dinner tonight. You don't have to really think about it and you're already prepared with your Omaha steaks. If you're not, you don't have your Omaha steaks, make sure to go to omahasteaks.com and use code CHICKS. So lots and lots of stuff is going to go on.
Much stuff.
Oh my God. So what time did we say we're going to start tonight?
6:30.
6:30 Eastern?
6:30 Eastern. Isn't that right? Or did we say
Because that's
Central?
5:30 here. That's early.
No, that's 6:30 Central is what we're doing.
Okay.
We're doing 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern is
Okay.
what we're doing.
Okay, I'm going to write that down.
You should
So
write
7:30. Because you guys, I am so screwed up
She
with the
is.
time change. Oh my God.
She's been late. We've been late for like the comments and stuff this morning, the chat. We feel really bad, but it's
I'm
been
really sorry,
traveling
guys.
with the whole daylight savings thing has been a nightmare. When I had a wake up call the other day for our trip here. And I was like, I need a 3 a.m. wake up call is what I asked the hotel to do. They woke me up at 2 a.m.
Because that was the night of the time change.
Yeah, I was so pissed about that because I'm like, and you need that hour, especially at 3 a.m. And so that screwed up the entire trip.
Yeah.
That was really bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's going to be 6:30 Central
7:30 Eastern is when we will open up
Tonight.
everything and do all the things.
tonight.
Okay, so all right. Yesterday evening, we were starting to hear rumblings that Trump was potentially going to announce his presidential election plans at last night's rally in Dayton for JD Vance. And I got to tell you, I was furious because I was like, that is such a suck all the oxygen out of the room kind of move. When the night before the elections, you're going to do that? No, that's not okay. First of all, you're in Ohio campaigning for JD Vance. The focus should be on JD Vance. Hi, Shelly. Thank you. And I saw
Shelley.
Mark also send us a super sticker. Thank you so much,
Thank
you guys.
you.
And so I was getting myself all mad because I was like, this is not okay for Trump to announce a giant election or a new campaign for president on the eve of the midterms. That's just not okay. Then we got super tired and we couldn't
stay
sit through
up.
his entire rally.
No, because his rallies, as you know, are pretty long. And I was like, listen, if he announces, I'll just see it early in the morning because we get up at 4:45. There's just no way I could wait.
Yeah.
So turns out this morning that he did not, in fact, announce. What he announced was, I'm announcing that I'm gonna announce later to announce.
And you guys, I have the clip for you because I was dying laughing. So it's got all this like
Tigers,
majestic
the tigers.
No, he didn't bring out the tigers.
No tigers.
But the music in the background as he's talking about his future announcement next Tuesday.
Was it Lee Greenwood?
It wasn't even Lee Greenwood. It's like this majestic orchestra sound.
Oh, okay.
And it's just so
Was
over the
it,
top.
Was it Mannheim Steamroller? Was it?
You guys,
No.
okay, so you just have to see it. You just have to hear it for
Yeah.
yourself. Just here.
Detract from tomorrow's very important, even critical election. And I would say, in the strongest way, it's a country-saving election, specifically including the election of all the people that I'm going to name. I'm going to be making a very big announcement on Tuesday, November 15th at Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida.
Okay, there's rules. Let me just music always plays at the end of the rally. Okay.
We want nothing to detract from the importance of tomorrow. You understand that, JD?
Do you understand that, JD? I'm pretty sure he understands that.
Yeah. So people are loving it. I know people love this. And normally I would love, I think it's awesome. The rally stuff is awesome. And I like Trump. You guys know I like Trump. I just I'm glad he didn't announce last night. I'm really glad that he didn't. I would not have been appropriate at all, because listen, last night and today are about, like, he's saying that the most important election is 2024. It's a very, very, it is monumental. But today is also monumental. I mean, this is a hugely important election today. Very, very important.
Very important. For
the future of our country. And I don't know if we can stress that enough. And I hope that he stressed that last night in his rally. I hope he did. I know there's a lot of talk about, impending lawsuits and stuff like that against him. And he was, there's a lot of talk about that sort of thing and stuff that's happened in the past. I really wish that we would not focus on a lot. I get sick of talking about January 6th, frankly. And so just a lot of everything that's happened in the past, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I want to move forward, and I want to move forward.
Well, there was, I mean, again, we didn't watch the whole thing because we were so freaking tired, but I do have another clip, which, to her point, it shows you what he is still focused on. Now, granted, I love this clip of him because it's so funny. And when he gets all Trumpy about when he gets Trumpy in terms of the way that he jokes about how mean people have been to him, it's so, so funny. And so this is one of those moments where he's describing the night that the dossier news broke and how he had to talk to Melania about it. And it's just perfect. Watch.
And created a fake dossier that wasn't good for me to go home that night and explain to the First Lady that was not a good dossier. JD, you never want to have to do that. Never. That was not good. But she actually believed me. She said, I know that's not your thing. You know why? Because I'm a germ freak. She said, you're not. That's not your thing. That's not. But the fake dossier that was done and paid for by crooked Hillary Clinton, the Democrat National Committee, and the Democrat Party, they found that out later. This dossier that was this thick, it was.
So, I mean, there's a lot of rehashing of that kind of stuff.
But see, the thing is that this election, the one now, is the one where, if obviously that kind of stuff can be investigated if we win this 2022 election. That's the kind of stuff where they can go, okay, well, then let's set up a committee or whatever to investigate all that stuff that was completely bogus.
Oh, Jim Jordan would be all
Jim Jordan's going to be
that.
Yeah, and he's going to be the guy in charge of that. And he's going to go after that stuff. So that's why this election is hugely, monumentally important that we win it. And I would hope that, people will be focusing on that and getting to the polls and voting and making sure that we change things, because I'm a little bit worried about this one.
Well, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because we're going to get into that a little bit more. Everybody is just so determined and convinced that this is going to be like the biggest red wave ever. And maybe that's true. Okay. Maybe that's true. I would love to believe that, but I don't ever like to get all confident like that.
Especially because we've seen it go the other way.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, think if you were a Hillary Clinton voter back in 2016, you were so sure that she was winning, and look what happened.
Yeah,
you guys. So to me, I don't like putting this much stock into the polls. It makes me very, very nervous, and too many people are doing it, and I just don't want that to translate into complacency, where people feel like, oh, we've got this in the bag, so I'm not even going to bother going to the polls if they haven't yet. You know what I mean? Right. I just hate that. But before we get to, and I know you're going to roll your eyes, but we have a clip from Trevor Noah where he is talking about polls, and I just thought that his point was important. And so we're going to get to that. But first we have to share that Bill Clinton was ambushed by I don't know who the reporter is, but Bill Clinton was ambushed and asked. It's very hard to hear, so we'll just give you the rundown. The most important thing about this is his facial expression. But what he's asked is, hey, do you have any comment on your relationship with sexual predator Jeffrey Epstein? Somebody asked him that, you guys. And well, anyway, here's what happens.
Any comments on the alleged allegation of your connection with Jeffrey Epstein? No.
Oh my God. I think he answered it. think the
It's
evidence
clear.
is clear.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
what he
God,
said.
it's so creepy. Can you imagine being Juanita Broderick and watching that?
Oh my God.
Or one of his other victims and watching that clip?
Oh my God.
Seriously, so creepy.
Yeah.
I think the evidence just speaks for itself.
So creepy.
Yeah, the evidence does speak for itself. There's like pictures of you on the plane. So yeah, we see it, Bill.
I mean, God, his
Weirdo.
face. And it was almost like it was doing the winky face at that guy.
Yeah,
Like, hey.
It's like, yeah, and I got away with it.
Right?
I'm Bill Clinton.
That was the face.
Mhm.
That was the face.
Because look how charming I used to be.
I know somebody's like, I missed what they said. That's why we're telling you. It's hard to hear. He was asked, do you have any comment about your relationship with Jeffrey Epstein? And he made that face and was like, I think the evidence is clear, and then walked away. That's it. That's all it was said.
That's all he has to say.
The important part was his face,
Yeah.
his creepy, winky face.
Yeah, because he's a Clinton.
Oh my God.
They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why people have to vote.
Exactly. One more reason they have to vote. I'm looking right at the camera because we never do that. We never look right at the camera. Okay. Also, before we get to that whole Trevor Noah clip that we mentioned, wanted to play this clip from Kamala. She's, doing her own rallies, doing her own thing. I guess this was yesterday. And Kamala thinks it's hilarious. The idea that anybody would ever go to prison for having weed is so hilarious to her, you guys. She's all cackly, even though she put people in jail for having weed.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is why this clip is even dumber than it already is on its face.
Put it and said, hey, nobody should have to go to jail for smoking weed.
Why did she say it like that? Why did she say it like
We're
that?
now dealing with that because you voted.
What?
Because you voted.
Is she crying?
She's like crapping.
Oh my God.
It's that whole crapping thing.
Oh my God. What
She's
in
a
the
complete,
world?
She's a complete lunatic. This one. Yeah, you sent people to jail for smoking weed. They just conveniently forget about that stuff. And then nobody in that audience, I don't know how big that audience was, but nobody in the audience calls her out. Nobody.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They can just say these things and pretend that they have had no part of their actual histories that they've clearly been a part of, and that there's no evidence of that history. We have all the evidence. It's everywhere.
Right.
Those videos don't go away.
I mean, smoking weed. What is that?
I don't know.
What that is.
What is that indeed? Okay, we are in the most glorious weather of all times. However, cold weather is upon us, you guys. And that is why if you need good stocking stuffers and you don't want to spend a huge, big bunch of money, we got you. Because our BFFs at heatholders.com, they make all these, their socks are my favorite because they make these socks that have this weave in them that somehow is like a bajillion times warmer than any of the warmest socks that you can find elsewhere. So, and they have 3 different levels of socks. Okay. So they've got like the thin socks that are super warm. Then they've got the medium fill socks, which are a little bit warmer, a little bit thicker. And then they've got like the Mac Daddy, super thick, almost furry
with
on the inside.
And the inside is just like, I can't even explain it. It's just the softest, yummiest, hug your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so great. You never want to take them off.
Gosh.
They're so delicious. They're so great. Like we have a ranch, and so they're awesome in the wintertime because like nothing. If your feet are cold, the whole rest of your body is cold.
And it's miserable.
It is. I hate that too. I hate having anything cold.
Yeah.
This is why I live in a warm climate for the most part, But when it does get cold, it gets cold.
Oh my gosh.
And so yeah, they're the best.
It's just it's such a great place because if you need gloves, they have that same super awesome warm stuff in their gloves and mittens, the hats, the long johns, like the long underwear. They have all the things. They're very, very reasonably priced. And then if you go to heatholders.com and use our code CHICKS, you're going to save an extra 15%. If you spend $25 or more, it's free shipping. Yeah. So it's the perfect stocking stuffer. Everybody needs these things. So you know that they're going to get used,
great,
which is always such a good
Christmas present, you guys. Yeah.
Heatholders.com
and
code CHICKS.
And make sure you're going to our site too. We have great writers out there. I mean, they are furiously writing right now.
Right now.
I mean, they are just out of control writing. So make sure you're going there every single day. Support them, support us. And it's a great site, you guys. I mean, it was just redone. It was like several months ago. And
June.
Yeah. And so do that. chicksontheright.com.
Okay, so we told you about the Trevor Noah clip. So for all you people, listen, if you want to make bets in Europe on the political races, I know that those polls or bets or whatever, everything is looking really, really good for Republicans right now, which is great, except that is it really? Like, is it for sure going to be a red wave? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't like
people,
feeling like
when people
it's
call
a sure
it
thing.
Tsunami, I'm like, I'm uncomfortable with that.
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah, because we saw the whole Mitt Romney thing. Everybody thought that was going to be a tsunami, and we lived through that. And that was, I just don't trust it. I don't trust any of that stuff anymore. So it's not a red wave until I actually see it. Until I see the red wave in my face.
Exactly.
And so I don't see it yet. And so we'll see tonight. We'll see.
And unfortunately, we may not even see tonight.
And that makes me crazy.
It makes me so crazy too.
Yeah. That makes me crazy that they're like, we're not gonna be able to count the votes until like 7 days later. And I'm just like, why? Because when I was a kid, we were able to do this stuff like same day. So why can't they do this same day?
Mm-hmm.
What is so different about now than it was, 20 years ago? I don't get it.
Well, and they're definitely prepping us for that, right? Like they want us to be prepared for the fact that we're not going to know the outcome for several days. In fact, before I get to Never Troa. Before I get to Never Troa, let me just show you how they are setting us up to be prepared to not know the results. Here's KJP herself talking about that very thing.
Call every state. In modern elections, more and more ballots are being cast in early voting and also by mail. And many states don't start counting those ballots until after the polls close on November 8th. So you heard the president say this the other night. He has been very clear on this as well. We may not know all the winners of elections for a few days. It takes time to count all legitimate ballots in a legal and orderly manner. That's how this is supposed to work, and it's important for us.
Anyway, so that is what she's saying, and it's infuriating, right? And I know she's right about, it's true, some states don't count until the ballots close. They don't count the mail-ins, they don't count the early voting. Why not?
I don't understand it either. And why is it so much more difficult now than it was when we were kids?
Right. And why? I don't understand. Like, I early voted. You probably did too, because we're here. We're not in our home states.
Right.
So like, I early voted to make sure that.
And a lot of people have.
Yeah. And so why? And I don't know. I don't even know what the rules are in Indiana when they count them, but why not count as you get them? Like, what is the harm of doing that? You have them,
and you think that they
count them up.
You think they'd already start having counts, and they would already start releasing those counts. And
I think that would be bad.
You think?
I think it'd be bad to release the counts ahead of election day. But why not? But why not at least have them counted? Have that in the tally, and then when the polls close on Tuesday. That's your starting point.
But
that's
the fact that these things are electronic now, a lot of these things are electronic, you think it would make it easier.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. It's not making anything easier. Like, why can't we just go back to the way things used to be? If it's so much harder now to count these things, then go back to paper, everything.
Well, because that suppresses the most vulnerable voters.
How?
I don't know.
How?
I was trying to be a Democrat for a minute.
I mean, but that's the thing. Why? How would it make it any different? I don't understand. Why?
I don't know.
In what way? That doesn't make any sense.
Because it's about access. Democrats are constantly trying to get us to believe that minorities are too dumb to figure out where and how to vote on election day. They need all this time in advance.
It's the same thing. It's just that they're doing it in a different format. That argument makes no sense. It's all the same. You're voting in a different way.
Yeah.
When you get there. It's all so dumb.
It's all so dumb, you guys. So dumb. Okay, so let's go back to this whole discussion about how everybody seems so sure of the tsunami, right? Here is Trevor Noah talking about the reality.
Hochul, running in a now unexpectedly tight race against Congressman Lee Zeldin in a state that hasn't elected a Republican governor in 2 decades.
Yeah, that's how bleak it is looking for Democrats right now. They're scrambling to salvage a governor's race in New York, which is crazy. New York is supposed to be a given for the Democrats. You know, this is like having to beg your stalker to like one of your posts on Instagram. It's like, come on, man, my feet are in this one. It's like, yeah, no, it's just not doing it for me anymore. So yeah, the expectations are that Republicans are going to have a very good election and that Democrats are in deep trouble. But keep in mind, that's all based on the polls, which, I'll be honest, bugs me about American politics. Because like polls are just like an idea. It's like what a person says, what they maybe are going to do. And that's why they're often wrong. In fact, these days it feels like they're wrong a lot more than they're right. You know, if you went by the polls in the last election, like think about it, Susan Collins would have lost her election by 6 points. Instead, she won it by 9. Right? Lindsey Graham was tied in the polls, but instead he destroyed his opponent. And according
yeah, so the data is a little alarming.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of, what is it? Never Troa. But when it comes to the data, it is a little bit alarming when you hear those, those data points. Mm-hmm. So, and we've seen it. We've in the time that we've been doing this, when we've been chicks, which is, been since the Stone Age, we've seen some stuff. And we've seen people who've been very sure of elections. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, we shouldn't have looked at those polls.
Exactly.
Because those were bogus, So I don't trust polls either. I never do. And so I'm not saying that people aren't pissed off, but are those people pissed off enough to go to the, are they pissed off enough to get up, get off their couch and go vote?
And the other thing that this kind of discussion does, this whole lead up, all the stuff about red wave, tsunami, who does that encourage to get to the polls? Democrats. Right. It encourages all these people who are scared that Republicans are going to win to get out. And so people who may have thought, I don't give a crap about this president. I don't like him. I'm not particularly enthusiastic about Democrats right now because everything is sucking. Those are the people that I'm most worried about getting energized by all the talk of the tsunami.
Yeah.
It just makes me crazy.
Yeah. And then when a president gives a speech, well, he's given two that are exactly the same, but the last speech that he gave, which is basically the speech 2.0 of the one he gave before, but the last, 5 to 7 minutes of it was, you must accept the outcome of the election. You must accept the outcome of the election. That freaks me out because I'm like, why aren't you talking about policy?
Yeah.
Why aren't you talking about issues? Why aren't you talking about the border and crime and the economy and all the other things you should be talking about, all the kitchen table issues? Why are you talking about accepting the outcome of the election? That should be a red flag to people. Mm-hmm. It is to me. Am I the only one?
No,
that's weird. I've never seen that in my lifetime. And I'm old,
One more KJP clip, you guys, because this one, we talked yesterday about the fact that over the weekend, Joe Biden made that comment about shutting down every coal plant in the country. And of course, a lot of people, including Joe Manchin, were like, what are you saying right now? So they were in major backtrack mode yesterday. They had released an official statement from the White House saying, no. His statement is being misconstrued somehow, even though he could not have been more clear. So in the presser yesterday, KJP was asked about this multiple times. We're just going to show you one piece of it. And this is the spin.
Saturday statement from you clarifying the president's remarks from the day prior. Can you walk through what the genesis of that was and whether or not you guys thought that perhaps it would be politically problematic had those statements been allowed to stand?
So we just wanted to be, you're talking about so we just wanted to be very clear on that, which is why we put out a statement. It seemed like there was some confusion on that. And so, I want to say this, it was, some of you were there. It was loud and hard to hear, I think, or maybe not exactly what was being said, but I currently don't want to get into punditry from here and why we did it or do it or paid or did it on TV. But I spoke to this over the weekend. The president's words, we believe, were twisted.
Twisted how? How is it twisted?
Oh my God.
Seriously, how are those words twisted?
They were not twisted. It was as clear as day, you guys.
He said, I want to shut down plants. I'm going to shut down plants. How would you twist that? How would you guys twist that? I'm
And then
going
he
to
said
shut
there's-
down plants.
Then he said there was no more drilling. The very next day, he said there's no more drilling. So he's basically eliminating the most important parts of our energy sector
I love that.
over a weekend.
I love how she's like, and I'm not going to engage in punditry up here. You do that every day, you hag. Every day.
Oh my God. What in the world?
I can't.
Speaking of Biden has done it again. When you guys remember way back in the day where he called Obama clean and articulate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
And then he said, what did he say about?
Listen, he has been racist on so many occasions. Like he has said the most racist.
Oh, I
things.
know. He said poor kids are just as white kids.
Right. I mean, he said, I'm going to put y'all back in chains. I mean, he's the guy that has, like, he said so many racist things on so many different occasions, and he gets to skate because he's a Democrat, because he's Joe Biden.
Mm.
He is a racist. It's like he has expressed his racism on many an occasion. And they're just like, well, I mean, it's Joe. It's like, it's fine.
It's fine. It's just Joe.
It's fine.
Well, he's done it again. And he's done it just now, like yesterday when he was talking about HBCUs. This is what he said.
HBCUs. You know why? HBCUs don't have the endowments others have, but guess what? You're just as smart, you're just as bright, you're just as good as any college in America.
And they're cheering.
Oh my God.
They're cheering.
As he's insulting them to their faces. God. They're like, yay!
You're just as smart, black kids.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
What in the world? How does this happen? And nobody is like,
yeah. And then they turn around and they're like, Trump is a racist.
Right.
Trump is racist.
And they're also like, those words were twisted and it was really hard to hear in there.
Right. It's just so hard.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
That is a thing that happened in the world.
Yeah.
Also, okay. So Twitter is, I'm still waiting to try to see what's going on with this whole verification process on Twitter. You know, there was talk over last weekend that there's going to be an $8 per month monthly charge, which was down from the initial rumors of $20 a month. Now that's on hold. I saw a headline this morning that says that Elon, and I don't know if this is true or not, that Elon is considering putting Twitter behind a paywall, which is a whole other level of crazy. And I don't think he should do that, by the way. I think that's a terrible idea because that basically eliminates what's considered a public square. You have to have money in order to participate in the public square. I think that's absolutely wrong.
Okay.
And I hope that is not something that he's actually thinking about.
And did he actually say that, or are people saying that?
I just saw a headline that said that. So I don't know. I don't know if he's saying it. I don't know if this is just a rumor mill, but I think that's a terrible idea. Now, making people pay for a verification, that's different. That's like a whole other, you can still access Twitter. You can still use Twitter. If you're looking for the blue check mark, then you pay. Fine. If he wants to do that, fine.
Until I hear that come out of his face.
Right. I'm saying I don't know if
believe-
it's true. That was just a Daily Mail.
I mean, people
headline.
are right. People are being completely crazy, and he's become the demon now. Like he's being Trumpified.
Oh, big time.
He's become the new Trump. It's like they have directed their hate and vitriol towards him in a way that is just, it's so obvious. Like these people are like, who are we going to hate now? Who are we going to try to destroy now? Oh, look, Elon. Yay. Let's hate him. It's like being in high school and being bullied to the nth degree. It's just gross. I don't like what I'm seeing. I just, this world now is just because of social media and everything that it is today. I watch what's happening to him and I'm like, dude, he's not even a conservative. Can you just simmer down? All of you whack jobs, just simmer. Like you watch the Whoopi Goldbergs, all these, cackling witches on The View, and everybody that just hates him because they think that he is right leaning. He's not.
Well, except that yesterday he did come out and say, vote Democrats out of Congress tomorrow because we need to tame their excesses. So he came out very, very strongly about today.
Doesn't mean he's a conservative.
It doesn't. No, he's not. We all know he's not.
No.
But I'm sure that didn't help with
the guy is pro-abortion.
Right.
It doesn't mean he's a conservative. It just means that he's like, their economic policies suck.
And the culture wars. He thinks they're way too woke and all that.
Right. And they are.
Obviously.
They totally are. But I mean, there are people who are like libertarian who are like, get the Democrats out. There are people, and I think he probably is more libertarian, you know? I
Yeah.
don't, if I were to pinpoint what he was, or he just is common sense. It's like there are a lot of people now who are just like, these people on the left are just crazy. They're just crazy. I don't want any part of this. I don't want them cutting off the genitals of children. You know, I mean, it's like, is that too much to ask?
Why are you not into gender affirming care?
Because I'm not crazy. You know, it's like, this is the thing. I think a lot of people are just like, they're kind of going off the deep end a little bit. So can we reel that back in and just maybe, you know, implement a little common sense? That would be a good thing in this country.
Well, and the fact that, you know, it's a big deal that he came out and said we need to tamper down the excesses of Democrats. But the other crazy thing that happened, this to me was a big deal. I don't know if it's just me, but Katy Perry. Okay, so you know Katy Perry, songstress, married to what's that guy? Orlando Bloom.
Orlando.
So I mean, you know, she's a big celebrity. She's got a gajillion followers everywhere. She took a picture of her ballot voting for the LA mayor and showed that she voted for the Republican.
It's crazy.
Katy Perry.
It's crazy.
I mean, I kind of think that's like that was the first thing that made me feel confident that maybe there's a red wave coming.
Perhaps.
Even though, you know, I don't like to say that, but I thought, well, maybe there's some truth to this. If somebody like a leftist celebrity is saying, I'm done with this crap.
Right.
I was stunned by that.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunned.
That's a little bit nuts.
That was
crazy. I think even some of the, you know, high profile celebrities and stuff like that are sick of the crime, you know, because they have to, even in the back of their limos, they got to drive through some of these areas and see, you know, some of the awfulness that they've caused, that these Democrats have caused. They can't shut their eyes and ignore some of what these policies have created.
Thank
right?
you, Shelly. Thank you very much. She says,
Thank
I missed
you.
the message. What did she
Is it Shelly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. She says Republicans are not perfect, but the other side is insane.
Right.
That's exactly right.
Exactly.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to Twitter. Whoopi Goldberg on The View made a very, very important, stunning, and brave announcement
So
yesterday.
brave.
We're just going to
So
let
brave.
you hear that.
A little over a week since Elon Musk took over Twitter, and the place it's a mess. He's already called back some of the workforce he fired a few days ago. He's putting his $8 charge for blue check verification on hold. First, it was going to be $20. Now it's going to be $8. He also suspended Kathy Griffin for impersonating him on a parody account, which has started a free Kathy hashtag to trend. I mean, I'm getting off. Today because I just feel like, you know, it's messy. Yeah. And I'm tired of now having had certain kinds of attitudes blocked and now they're back on. Yeah. And I'm going to get out. And if it settles down and I feel more comfortable, maybe I'll come back. But as of tonight, I'm done with Twitter.
I think a lot. And they're like, oh my God.
They're like, you're so brave.
So stunning
you're
and
so brave to have those certain attitudes blocked. So she was excited about having the censorship. Mm-hmm. She loved the censorship. And now that the censorship is gone, she's like, well, I mean, I guess I got to go now.
I can't be seeing those other opinions.
I can't deal with people not being censored. All the right wingers being censored. You know, I mean, it's like, and
she said that out loud.
I can't have other ideas out there. You know, God forbid I police myself rather than have people be policed in a free market and open town hall kind of a forum. These people are insane.
Insane. Thank you, Paul. Thank you very much.
Thank
he says,
you, Paul.
thanks for all you do. Thank you so much.
Bye. And you know what? She'll be back on in 5 days. All these people that say, they all do this. It's kind of like when elections happen. Remember, like Alec Baldwin was like, I'm going to go move to Canada.
It's the same thing.
It is the same thing. It was Rosie O'Donnell's. Remember all those people did that? Yeah. Like they all were like, I'm going to go move to this country, move to that. Why haven't you gone?
Who was the guy that I showed you? Who was the guy that we just looked at who was like, I'm coming back. I'm popping back on really quick.
Oh, it was the guy that, remember he played the Beast.
Ron
Perlman.
Yes. So he
in
was
Beauty and the Beast, he played the Beast. He looks like
Because I was
Oh my
dying.
God. Cause he was like, I have to get off of, he was on Twitter and he was like, I'm getting off of Twitter. And then he's like, oh, I got to pop back on just for one more thing.
Right.
Because
And I was like, you
just,
popping back on now?
Right.
You're just popping back
just
on
going to pop back
to
on.
say the one thing?
Cause I got to say one more thing. I just have one more thing to say. Yeah, I bet you do. Because these people cannot stay off. They cannot not say the things, you know, they have to be the center of attention. They have to say the things. They just can't. And Whoopi will do the same thing.
Yeah.
She will not be able to stay off of Twitter because she has to say the things.
Now, there are some celebrities who did delete their accounts, like, for example, ever important, influential person, Sarah Bareilles. So, see?
What did she
People are going to be like, who the hell is Sarah
who is
Bareilles?
that?
She's
Is she-
just a singer.
Oh,
But she's one of the people. But she had, you know, maybe, I don't know, 1 to 2 million followers. So it's not like she's.
I could barely remember what she said.
I know. Well, she's saying, I want to see you be brave.
That was really good.
And so how brave is
good.
she? She ran.
Yeah.
She ran
She
from
ran
all the
away.
mean
I
Republicans
can't
on Twitter.
handle free speech. God.
Anyway, you guys, we have to tell you a story about what we encountered on our walk on the beach yesterday. Tell.
Oh my God, you guys. So we're walking on the beach yesterday. We're like, okay, let's take like an hour, go walk on the beach. It was lovely, right? I mean, the first 5 minutes of our walk was really lovely. And then we saw this girl sitting on the beach and she was singing. She was like, woo, she was singing. And we were like,
All
oh
alone,
my gosh,
all
she's
alone.
fun. Look at her, she's fun. And we were like, oh, hey, we start dancing, you know, because she's dancing. And we're like, woo, hey, you're having a great time. And she has like these little mini bottles of wine.
And what was it, like 10:30 in the morning?
10:30 in the morning. Right.
Not that there's anything wrong with
Not really. I mean, it's fine. We don't judge day drinkers. It's fine. I mean, you know, we've been known to do it, but we're a little bit older. And so we don't really like to start drinking that early in the morning.
On the beach alone.
Right. So, you know, we were like, okay, that's fine. She probably looked like in her late 20s is what she looked like by herself.
And we found out how old she was.
Yeah. So we walked over to her and we were like, oh my gosh, you're singing. Like, how fun are you? You're precious, whatever. And she was just a beautiful girl. Beautiful. I mean, gorgeous, looked healthy, right? And she was like, and she started talking to us for just a minute. And then she's like, oh, I'm just a mess. I mean, she basically said, she hates herself. Right. She's
I mean, not right away. Cause like first we were like, what's your name? We were
Yeah.
trying to make like chit chat, but she was clearly not right.
She was drunk.
She was
messed up on something. Right.
And she said, I'm a crackhead.
I'm a crack addict. Yeah. She's like, I'm a crack addict. So she was a drug addict and she's on the beach by herself. And she's like, my parents basically have given up on me. They can't enable me anymore. And I'm not, and this is like my parents' house is like here on the beach. And I'm just kind of hanging out by myself. And you could tell she was she probably was a happy girl once, but she was a mess. And so, Mock and I tried to talk to her. We were just trying very hard to tell her, you've got to get your shit together, in a nice, loving mom kind of way.
Because it's what we do. Like we can't not
do that. But man, and she we found out she had 2 kids. She wasn't seeing her kids. Like there are a lot of people out there who are messed up, but man, it's like, it was just a wake up call. Like there are so many people like that in the world that these kids, she's 27 years old.
Yeah. 29. She was 29.
Was she 29?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm sorry. 29.
And we were, at first we were like, girl, crack is whack. You shouldn't do that.
And she kept saying that. She's like, yeah, it's my fault. She's like, I'm a loser. She kept saying that. And I'm just like, God. And I'm like, but you don't have to be. We're both like, you don't have to be. You could stop doing this. And we know that drugs are powerful, but man, this generation.
And she gave us little, mini bottles of wine. Yeah. And then we felt like, okay, we'll take a sip of, and they were sealed because otherwise we would never.
Like, I kind of like looked at mine. I'm like, I'm not gonna.
But that was it. Like we weren't actually going to drink them. And so then she said, I'm going to go in and get more wine, which was actually a relief because we didn't want to continue the conversation for that much longer. We really just wanted to get on
with our walk.
So we did, and she left. And when we walked a long ways and then we walked back and she was still inside. All of her stuff was still on the beach, but she was inside. And honestly, it was like one of those things that was like funny in the moment because she was so silly and playful and hyper and crazy.
But
But then we walk away and we're just like, oh my God.
Right.
Like that is the kind of story. If we heard some 29-year-old jumping off the building, we would not have been surprised to learn it was her.
And somebody said, as some people, we've lost our moral compass. And it's true.
Yeah.
We have. It's like, she just needs.
And she'd been to rehab twice.
She'd been to rehab twice.
Just now. Like she'd just gotten out of rehab.
Right.
And was clearly still.
She needs, like, so many people are just lost.
Yeah.
Just lost. Right. And that's sweet that you say that it was God's plan to have her meet us on the beach. And I don't know if like meeting us did anything, and it probably didn't.
Yeah.
But we tried so hard to just tell her, you have so much to do besides this. You got to do something other than this, you know? And she's like, I'm a loser. Anyway, I don't know why I felt compelled to share that with you, but just try to be kind to people. And if you see people that are going through that, you know, it is a commonplace story. There are so many people that are just messed up. Oh my God, West Point daughter, that's so great. 5 years sober.
Oh, yay. See, it is possible. We know
Right.
somebody, we're close to somebody that we used to work with.
Oh,
who
yeah.
went through the same thing.
Mhm.
And when they come out on the other
Oh
side,
God, they're so appreciative.
Yeah,
And
it's
they're
a whole
just,
different
and they see
person.
life as like, it's like they're born again, you know? And they are. So many of them are.
Mhm.
So anyways, just pray for that girl. If you're a praying person, pray for her, and just maybe she'll come
Yeah.
out of it. Cause man, that affected me yesterday. Cause I've got
I
kids
know.
that age, you know?
and she was so full of life.
Yeah.
That's why when she told us that she was a crackhead, we were like, you are?
Right.
I mean, it just was not you would have never known it in a million years if you would have just seen her
Right.
sober. You would have never known this is somebody who actually does crack
Yeah.
on the regular.
And then I feel bad for her kids.
I know.
It's just a
And she
whole
hadn't
generation,
seen them
man.
in 2
Ugh, God, it
months.
just makes me, anyway. So we just
Anyway.
thought we'd put that in there. So
Okay, we do have another clip. So this is the most ridiculous. What you're going to see is an actual person shaving their pubes on a bus or subway. I'm not sure which, but the reaction to
it's
it.
not funny.
It is kind of funny.
And because it is, but there again, it's like, this is another, like, this is a moral compass thing. Like, what is going on in the world? Like, this would never have happened 30 years ago. You know why? Because somebody would have beat the crap out of this guy, or they would have taken him. And they would have been like, this is not okay on a subway. Right?
I would hope so. And now it's just like everybody whips their phone out to get it on video.
Where are the men? Where are the men to deal with this guy? Right?
Well, you're going to see the guy doing the shaving, and then you're going to see a reaction, which is hilarious.
What? We're just filming this guy.
That is disgusting. Being out in public with your mask below your nose on your chin. Please be respectful to your fellow neighbors. Wear your mask correctly when you're shaving your pubes in public.
Oh my God. She showed that to me last night. And
I was dying.
I was like, where? Seriously, though, like 15 years ago, somebody would have like taken that guy and beat the crap out of him.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
They would have at least said, what the hell are you doing? You absolute psycho.
Yeah.
You don't do that in public. Oh my God.
And now everybody's just like, let's film it and I'm going to put it out on TikTok and like make all sorts of money. That's what's wrong with our society.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your whack? I forgot.
Oh,
already.
my whack. Okay. My whack is, what is my whack? The toads.
Right.
The toads. Okay. Hold on. I'll get it up. So,
And I'm not going to do any talks today, you guys, because it's just too hard. I don't think they'd show up on the screen.
why is it not showing up
Should I
for me?
try?
Hold on. I got to, okay. Well, shoot.
Try.
Why is my messenger not working? Hold on. I got to get into my messenger. Why is it not working this morning?
Yeah, there you go.
I know, but hold on.
There you go.
Okay, I get to mine. Okay, hold on. You guys bear with me. Everything is borked.
I can
Okay,
thank
here we
hang
go.
on. Let me thank the super sticker.
All right,
person.
so
hang
the
on.
Oh.
Morgan, thank you. You don't manscape on the subway. Get with the times.
Morgan.
Okay, now you
Okay, all right. So the National Park Service, you guys, is begging visitors to stop licking toads right now. I don't know. This is, again, it goes, apparently they have put out a PSA, and I am not even lying, pleading with people, with nature goers. I mean, these are people like granola crunchy people, I would imagine. with nature goers to stop licking toads in the wild to get high off their gland-secreted psychedelic substance, which is like 5-MeO-DMT. I didn't know people did this.
Oh, yeah.
But apparently you can lick toads. I don't do this. I don't do drugs, so I don't know. You can. It was once spoofed on Family Guy.
No. It says toad licking for a riveting buzz.
I see what they did. See what they did there. Okay, so apparently it has serious health risks. Why would you want to lick a toad? I mean, do people not drink beer anymore? This is the thing I don't understand. Why? I mean, you would go in nature, you would find a toad, and who is the first person that discovered that this was a thing? They were like, hey, you know what, Carl? We should try to lick that toad and see if it does anything. Somebody did that.
Yeah.
Like
but also somebody ate broccoli for the first time.
Somebody took a corn and said, let's explode it to see if it like turns into popcorn. Like somebody did that once. Let's actually explode that.
And then somebody also looked at nipples and said, we should drink out of there.
We should do that. We should totally do it. So anyways, this is what's happening. They do that. So I just love that little picture right there of the toad. You see it? Of course, there's a pop-up. Damn it, there's a pop-up. Do you see the toad? He's like, don't lick me. Don't do it. So anyways, they've issued a warning.
Stop doing that, you
Don't
guys.
lick the toads.
Why would you do that?
And that's whack that we're doing that. It's whack. Don't do that.
So do you want me to show this or not?
Yes. Okay. So Miriam last night, she's, apparently she has this habit every single night where she goes through all the talks so she can have talks for you guys in the show.
And for My Pillow.
Every morning.
So that
and
we can
for
have My Pillow talks,
right?
you guys.
So I was a part of that since we're together. I was a part of that. And we sat on the couch last night. And I mean, my eyes are watering this morning. I think that may be part of it because I'm not used to crying so hard at night. But we were like on the couch. I was
oh my God,
laughing so hard I was crying because she's showing me all these ridiculous TikToks. One of them was this stupid cat one.
Well, and I don't know why this is so funny, you guys. I don't. It's really not.
It's really not. It's not.
But there was something about it coming up in my feed and then us watching it together.
And I was like, I'm like, we should show everybody on the show tomorrow because this is what they come to our show for, right? Is this riveting content?
I don't know why it's funny, okay?
You
don't
guys ready?
Judge me.
It's so ridiculous.
I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I laughed so hard at that.
I don't either. It's like, but this is why.
Oh my God.
Right.
I can't. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but I did want to show Stacey Abrams dancing.
Right.
Because this is it's not okay. Kerry Washington, it's her account, and she showed.
Speaking of Stacey Abrams, there's an article in I think it's the Atlantic that a friend of mine, my friend Kendall, he sent me. And it is a pretty good article. It's about how Democrats are known for promoting losers. And it's about Stacey Abrams and Beto. I mean, these people are losers and they prop them up and they just it's like trying to make fetch happen, But this is what they do. And then they embrace these people who are gigantic, colossal losers.
Thank you, Ray Wallace.
Thank you, Ray.
Hopefully we learned our lesson and won't let them kick out or alienate the poll
watchers.
Poll
Yeah.
watchers, yeah. Exactly. All right. So I hope everybody's sitting down. I hope you haven't eaten, or if you're like about to eat, just maybe hold off on that for a second because this again.
Down.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you, Tammy.
Is Stacey Abrams
happy
moving
birthday.
her body. I mean, that's Kerry Washington right there. But that is Stacey Abrams. That's a thing that happened. I just needed everybody to know it.
And that's the thing is like they're all on TikTok dancing.
Yeah.
And this is another thing that concerns me about this election is that's what they do. Like there was one influencer,
10 million followers.
Yeah. Miriam found it. She had 10 million. This is what they're doing, you guys. They get the young people. They get the young people through TikTok to talk about how, oh, listen, inflation isn't an issue. The economy is not, like, the inflation is not that bad. The economy is actually pretty good. They tell like the 20-somethings this. They don't know any better. They don't know any better. So while we understand it, you know, we're the ones out there paying the bills. These 20-somethings are like the kids in college are being told everything's fine. Everything's fine. And that's what they're hearing on TikTok from these influencers. Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
it's effective, unfortunately.
It's very effective, and it's reminiscent of the whole Obama election, which we lived through. You guys remember that. So just keep that in mind when you're voting.
Yeah. Okay. So listen, it's a big, big day in many, many ways. Not just the election, but also tickets for our meet and greet are going on sale today. So here's what's happening, just in case you missed yesterday's show. At 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. Eastern today, the people who were on the wait list for tickets, who did not get to come to the last event, who were on the wait list, they're going to be getting an email that with the link to purchase tickets. They will have until 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 Central, to buy or not buy. And then at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, the tickets will be opened up to our Facebook insiders and our locals supporters. So if you would like to join either one of those groups, the links are at chicksonright.com/links. You can get to those and join if you would like to have early access to get tickets for our April 29th meet and greet, Camp Tono out west in Phoenix, Arizona on April 29th. And then if tickets do not sell out for the next 5 hours, then at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern, then we will be posting a link on our website, okay, chicksonright.com. The link will be going up on our website. If they are not sold out, then you will see a post that has the link, and then everybody else can buy as well. So all the information about the event will be on that link, including hotels that are in the area, including the contact information for the travel agent that made arrangements for folks at our Tampa event. So all of that information is going to be at the link. And we are just super excited and
so excited. Wait. Oh my God, it's going to be so fun.
Yay.
Super excited. We cannot wait to meet so many of you.
Yes. And see some of you again.
Yes, totally. And I think we will.
It'll be like part reunion, part meet and greet.
Yep.
So it should be really fun.
It's going to be kick butt. It's going to be awesome. Okay, you guys, it's a big day. And we're going to see a lot of you tonight. Hopefully all of you, but many of you tonight at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. We will be here. We'll have it set up. We'll be having some Prosecco, hanging out, some snacks. Hope you guys will have like your snacks set out. And
we'll be just like chatting and like,
we'll
hanging out.
We'll be chatting with you guys. And that's basically what it's going to be like. So get ready. We're getting geared up, and we will talk to you tonight. Let's bring it in. Cannot wait to get out and vote.
Thank you, Melissa.
Do all the things. And we'll be back online in, I don't know, several hours. We'll see you in several hours. Okay. Talk to you tonight, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.